Hi, I'm 𝗦𝗛𝗥𝗘, Chair of Peter's Ponderings Ministry. This is a ministry initiated by volunteers. We hope to bring biblical and inspirational perspective on life. Our vision is to instill courage, provoke thinking, and extend God's love in our world. If you have been blessed, we encourage you to sow into this ministry so that we can bless more people. Below are the ways that you can give.
My interest in foreign lands was first aroused by the images of exotic places on television in the early 60s. My impression then was that the grass looked greener, life was better, and the attractions appeared more exciting in other countries. When I first went round the world in 1976, I had my first taste of new cultures, lifestyles, and food. It was easy to be persuaded that the lifestyles and choices the first world afforded were better and more appealing than what my swampy backwater town could offer. I was attracted to the sophistry and urbanity of major cities in the Western world. Then came the opportunity to live overseas. A common language made it easy to adapt to a different culture and to work with people from various ethnic backgrounds. It gradually dawned on me that there is a subtle difference between space and place. While I shared physical place with neighbors in a foreign land, I was constantly adjusting mental and psychological space to adopt or adapt to different worldviews or different ways. I am sure this adjustment was made by my international friends to accommodate me too. The geographer 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗥𝗘 indicates that space is an abstract concept. We think of openness, freedom, or confined restrictions. Many of us also conjure up images of outer space or infinity. But a geographic location can also signify more than physical territory. Inevitably, we associate psychological landscape, cultural mores, and behavioral patterns with geographic location. Place, then, is more than just a topographical identity. It also describes the intangible values and idiosyncrasies of a people and their way of life. I find it helpful to describe myself by my affinity to place. The features of my habitat are thumbnail sketches of my cultural identity. The aroma of spices from Asian cooking arouses my appetite, while they may be repugnant to some of my Caucasian friends. Shanghainese dumplings conjure warm memories of interactions with my father. The meal is an opportunity for community, for heart-to-heart exchanges. Hence, Asian meals are seldom in single portions. It is symbolic that the Asian greeting is not "How are you?" but "Have you eaten?" The distinct fragrance and taste of food in my culture remind me of the relationships that I cherish. While the social strictures of my city are overbearing to some of my overseas friends, they are margins that provide me safety so I can attend to my enterprise without fear and hindrance. In these and other ways, my habitat is my cultural signature. Small wonder, whenever I cross the Pacific and land on Asian soil, there is an erratic skipping of my heartbeat that has no medical significance, but pregnant with worldview implications. The current globalized mental template idolizes the knowledge worker. He or she has no need for commitment to any organization or country, as his or her skills are in demand around the world. Correspondingly, the organization does not feel obligated to take care of the worker, but transacts an exchange for the skills of the person. Since the world is borderless to the sufficiently skilled person, there is no need for commitment to any location. Whoever from whatever that pays the highest gets his or her presence and skills. Even for Christians, church-going is so different today. In the past, people went to the parish, which was a congregation in the community of their residence. Today, we drive across town to a church that meets our needs. Self-directedness finds encouragement in almost all aspects of modernity and is idealized in post-modernity. However, when God deals with His people in the Bible, He deals with them in their contexts. People are inextricably linked to their locale. How they lived and acted had far-reaching implications for their cities. God was willing to spare Sodom and Gomorrah from judgment if Abraham could find 10 upright people. Jerusalem was preserved for the sake of King David. Even in captivity, the Jews were exhorted to seek the welfare of the city, for in its welfare is your welfare. The distinct implication is that we have a responsibility for the welfare of the cities we inhabit. We can make a difference between God's blessing and judgment in our community. We cannot just benefit from our society without making commitments and contributions to the community that has nurtured us. Gradually, my sentiments shifted from the grass is greener in other lands to green, green grass of home. The home grass is of a certain hue of green and a distinct texture. I am from a specific culture, and I appreciate with gratitude my family, friends, society, schools, church, and government that have shaped and nurtured me. In remembering the rock from which I was hewn, I sense a responsibility to indicate in as many ways as possible to my leaders that my city can count on me to build, to enhance, and to pray for her. I am determined to make the green grass of home even greener. To be critical of shortcomings in my society without offering viable alternatives is irresponsible. Anyone who has ever built realizes the difficulty and arduousness of the task. It is obvious that to destroy is far easier than to construct, especially when the leaders have a track record of self-giving and integrity. I have an obligation to extend their efforts at community and nation building. As God's people, we need to be conduits of His blessings. Unless we are part of the intricate webbings of a community, we will not be trusted enough to channel God's blessings. And without the presence of God's people, God's benevolence will not be recognized. Surprisingly, to be committed locally does not make me parochial or insular. To the contrary, I find myself more engaged with the rest of the world. My curiosity of cultural, methodological, and conceptual differences is stimulated. Where I find the grass to be greener elsewhere, I seek to learn so I can improve the quality of the green grass of home. For God's people to be responsible global citizens, they are obliged to be contributive participants in their own cities and nations.
Thank you for watching this short video. We hope you have been blessed. This is a question for this session for you to ponder and to discuss with your group.